Dear friends, for those who are kind of new to this thing, I have a sort of a hobby. I index historic graves which go on a free of charge website so that people who come from Belarus, whose roots are from here, could easily find them without having to travel here now that traveling has become a bit of a challenge. I'm now in Rubezhevichy cemetery, mostly Catholics. And it's a historic place with around 2,000 tombstones. So the point of being here today is to film a short report concluding that the indexing is done. The graveyard is online. So why would anybody like me do a thing like this? When I was a tour guide, there were people coming in as ancestry tourists, genealogy tours. And many of them would just go around such places and find headstones like this at best. And what would they do with them? Like just a few hours, ideally a couple of days in a small place where your ancestors lived. What would you do? How do you search for them? Half of them here are not really legible unless you have special tools, at least a powerful torch. So since 14, I decided to start indexing them and making a job for people easier, searching for their old folks. And then it became a bit more sophisticated. I came up with a little app which geotags the gravestones, and basically it goes to the website which our community helps to upkeep. If you have genealogy from Belarus, you may join on Facebook. And the website's still running. So the Rubezhevichy cemetery has just been added because in 16 somewhere there was a lady called Betty and her husband that were here looking for Valekhanovich family. So some of the surnames actually were found after the detailed indexing of each and every headstone in this cemetery. I may have missed a couple of dozen, but I would say it's 99% online. Roughly the indexing looks the following way. You launch the app, you see the GPS location. The app allows to see how close you are to a gravestone, and respectively the place where it leads you is a 3-meter radius of the GPS pin, which is kind of accurate if you're here doing a search. So you can come up here already armed with location and just see the exact or assumed headstone of your relative. Then when you're doing the mapping, you are standing here for a few seconds. It allows the GPS to be in line with where the gravestone is. Take a picture. And basically, if the cleaning is not required, move on, because if it is required, you have to put in the genealogy information further. And that's something that requires extra effort. For a few seconds you may be waiting for the GPS signal to get straight, because we don't want to put all the headstones in one pin. And then you move on to the next one by one, step by step. And I'm somewhat delighted to conclude that this cemetery has been upkept very well. The locals are doing a great job. There was just one instance when I had to shift and basically clean up the mess after some logging, basically emergency logging, when an old tree comes down and breaks some headstones. So just a minor thing that slowed down, but otherwise took a few years and the place is online now. Before 2020, with all the obvious dramatic events, it was like a hobby with a certain expectation that some people would be doing their genealogy tours and would basically use my services, which basically almost never happened, interestingly enough. Some people came in and showed their appreciation, donated some money to upkeep the website and continue the work, because with some requests or without, I'm keen to continue indexing Pinsk, Christian cemetery, Ilya Jewish cemetery, because we saw it with Rubin folks in 2013 or something like this. And a couple more sites, and that may take some time because now there is no longer tourism, and hobby is just by definition and a non-commercial thing that may take some money that is extra from my daily requirements, so to speak. So we can't expect them to go online tomorrow. Well, tonight, apart from expressing my excitement from completing this job, I would like to point out that this would have really stretched into a longer project without the help of several ladies that come from this place. And I hope now their fellow family men, going by these surnames, maybe let's say may get their odds improved looking for their ancestors, and through collective effort of complete random strangers who are into the subject, who appreciate such kind of thing, who know how it works, and who basically believe in the collective effort for the collective benefit. Although it may sound a little bit romantic, but I would like, guys, to thank you all, one and all, for supporting this thing and staying with me all the way through the indexing. And I hope we'll be doing other jobs, other projects, other indexing things in different locations of Belarus, and maybe it becomes massive. Thank you. This was Andrei from Rubezhevichy, Western Belarus. Good night and be safe. Cheers.